He hasn't picked up a professional baseball glove in 24 years, but he's still picking up a paycheck, and a hefty one at that. It's July 1st, which for New York Mets fans means it's Bobby Bonilla Day. In 2001, the former slugger, along with the Saint. However, for more than a decade, he has been receiving a check from the Mets on July 1st for nearly $1.2 million. The deal is part of a contract negotiated by Bonilla's agent Dennis Gilbert, which will pay Bonilla $1,193,248.20 every year until 2035. When his contract with the Mets comes to an end, Bonilla, a former All-Star who last played for them in 1999, will be 72 years old. How is Gilbert able to secure such a sweet deal for his client? They can both give credit to former Mets owner Fred Wilpon and disgraced financier Bernie Madoff. The Mets wanted to part ways with Bonilla after the 1999 season, but he had $6 million left on his contract. Wilpon believed he was getting a huge return on his investments through Madoff, but the Mets owner turned out to be a victim of Madoff's infamous Ponzi scheme. Instead of paying Bonilla outright, Wilpon opted to defer payments so that the money could be unwittingly invested into Madoff's Ponzi scheme. Gilbert, Bonilla's agent, negotiated with the team to defer payments until 2011 at an interest rate of 8% per year. Madoff was the mastermind of the most notorious Ponzi scheme in history. A Ponzi scheme is a type of fraud in which more recent investors use funds from older investors to pay out profits to older investors, convincing them that their investments are part of a successful business. Madoff, who died in 2021, was serving 150 years in prison for the multi-billion-dollar scheme that he ran for decades. In total, Bonilla will walk away with a $29.8 million payday because of Wilpon's blunder. Players being paid over a long period of time isn't uncommon in MLB, with contracts often deferring money down the line. Most recently, Shohei Ohtani decided to defer $68 million annually from his average salary of $70 million after the Los Angeles Dodgers signed him to a 10-year, $700 million contract in 2023. That means Ohtani will be paid $2 million a year over the contract, and the deferrals, totaling $680 million, will begin in 2034. Starting then, Ohtani will receive $68 million per year from the Dodgers until 2043. The Dodgers have a history of delaying payments, including when they signed Tommy Edman and Blake Snell. But this idea has been around for a long time now, after it was first popularized by the Dolgoff Plan in the 1960s, when an accountant, Ralph Dolgoff, helped the American Basketball Association, ABA, compete with the NBA by allowing teams to offer payments spread over multiple years in an attempt to attract players with the appeal of long-term security. Therefore, Mr. Bonilla is likely one of the most famous beneficiaries of deferred payment schemes. He is not the first and will most certainly not be the last.